What up, guys? Secretary here with the most inconsistent deck profile updates ever, because I'm trying not to be that guy that just uploads the same thing everyone else uploads, and I try to upload the budget versions of most of the decks because, I don't want to spend $60+ on card, as you've seen from my last deck profiles of me crying about BLS Link until I finally bought it. Still hurts. Anyway, got a new mat, so dope, awesome. Yeah, I'm sure I'm going to get a bunch of comments here in a second about certain things I'm not going to say out loud. But this is a Utopia deck profile with the new support. There is a few cards I changed, and I'll tell you when I show you. But without further ado, let's get down to it. Starting off with the newest support, the ZS Ascendant Sage, which can special summon himself when there's no monsters on the field. He's your Cyber Dragon with a deck, which is kind of nice. And when he is linked off, you can get a rank up magic. Just want to make sure I'm doing it. Yep, rank up magic from your deck to your hand. Making a Utopia, obviously. Then to combo with him, you have 3 ZS Arm Sage. When he is XYZ summoned into Utopia, you can add a ZW monster from deck to hand. Really nice. He also special summons himself if there's level 4 on the field. So you combo the two together, you get both their effects. Then we run 3 Utopia Onomatopoeia. He counts as a Zubababa, a Go Go Go, or a Ga Ga Ga. And he can special summon one of those, or one of each of those, from your hand in defense position, which is really nice. Helps you combo off and make 2 XYZs really quickly. Then we run 3 ZW Azora Strikes, which when he's equipped to a Utopia monster, that monster gains 1,000 attack, and it also can attack your opponent's monsters as many as your opponent's monsters they can. This is the card I would put at 2. I just put it in the third one for a filler because I wanted to play the deck, and I just didn't feel like ordering the other cards. For the 2-0s, we run 2 Zubababa Bansho Gagaga Coats. He specials himself if there is a Go 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 on the field. Make sure I'm right. It's been a minute. If you control a Zubaba or a Gagaga monster, except for this monster, while this card is in your hand, you can special summon it. And you can target one Go 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 or Dododo monster in your graveyard, special summon. While this card is in your hand, you can special summon this card. You can target one Go 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 or Dododo monster in your graveyard, special summon it. Also can not special summon monsters from the extra deck for the rest of the turn except for XYZ monsters, which is nice because, XYZ, this whole deck. Same with Onomatopoeia's effect. When you special summon from the deck or from your hand, you can only make XYZs. You know me, I kind of slaughter the names, I slaughter the effects sometimes, so sue me. Then we have 2 Dododo Dwarf Go 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 Gloves. When he can special summon during your main phase, you can special summon one Zubababa or Go 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 or Ga 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 monster from your hand if you control a Go 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 or Dododo monster, except for this one. While this card is in your graveyard, you can special summon him, but he banishes if he leaves the field. But if you XYZ into him, you could just keep using his effect over and over. I've done that a few times. Pretty funny because, he can just special summon himself whenever. So you throw down another level 4, special summon him, make another XYZ, discard him for effect. And, the cycle continues. It's great. Run 2 of each. Some people are just running 1 of him and 1 of the other. Or they'll run, 2 of him and 1 of the other. I just like running 2 of each. Another new support, ZW Pegasus Twin Saber. Equipped to your Utopia monster, it gains 1,000 attack and can have a monster negate, which is kind of nice. And it can special summon itself, I do believe. You can only control one of each as an equipped monster, so you can't stack 3 Azora strikes on top of each other, which is kind of depressing. If your opponent's life points are at least 2,000 higher than yours, you can special summon this monster from your hand. Being a level 5 with only 1,000 attack is kind of eh. It's 2,100 defense, eh. Then we run for the one-ofs, or for the rest of the one-ofs, I guess, because, ZW. We run ZW Lightning Blade. You can target one Utopia monster you control, equip it to this monster from your hand to the side of the field. It gains 1,200 attack while this card is equipped to a monster face-up ZW monster. Cards you control cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. So he essentially says no Twin Twister, because these guys also count as spells when they're in the equip zone, or when they're equipped monsters. So yeah, no Twin Twisters on you. Then we have ZW Tornado Bringer. The monster gains 1,300 attack. While the card is equipped to this monster, your opponent cannot target that monster with card effects. And if the monster is destroyed, you can just discard these 2 instead, which is nice. That's it for the monsters. The monster lineup's kind of small because of the fact that we can just keep special summoning your best spell in the entire deck. ZW Change Tactics, we run 3 of. Problem with this card is when I was playing it, its effect popped off, and I just drew into another one of the cards. But it says when you make a Utopia monster, you pay 500 life points, draw a card. The amount of times that I drew into this while the effect popped off is ridiculous. It sucks because you can only have one on the field at a time, but its effect is not a hard once per turn. So you can make 3 Utopia monsters, draw 3 cards, pay 1,500 life points, use the effects of other cards where it's like so many life points difference, you get to banish a card and draw a card. We run 3 Anamana Paras. You can activate 1 per turn, discard a card, and then add 2 cards at Go Go Go, Gaga, or Zubababa. But it can't be 2 Go Go's or Zubababa. I usually just add the coat and glove. And it's nice because you get them in pop their effects. It's really good. Then for another new card from the newest set, Zexal Construct lets you reveal 1 card for your hand, add the following cards from the deck to 1 card from the deck to hand. A ZW monster, ZS monster, a Zexal spell, a rank up magic, rank down magic. You can only use the effect once per turn. So you reveal a dead card in hand, shuffle it back into the deck, and then get a card you won. Nice little recursion. It's pretty good for being a rank up card. I'm pretty sure we're gonna see this in Phantom Knights and decks that like to use rank up or rank down spells a lot. If you're smart enough, I guess. Here's the casual player giving pro tips. Zexal Entrust, essentially a ZS, ZW, or Utopia reborn. I run 3 of those. You could run 2 if you wanted. It's up to you. There's a lot of things I run. I always run things weird in my decks for the people who've seen them. Then we run 3 XYZ imports, because why not have your card be freaking Cyber Dragon Infinity, suck up one of your opponent's monsters? They just have to be a lower attack than that monster. So if you have a 2,500 monster and they have a 28 monster, can't do it. But usually we use our extra deck to make our cards bigger. Then we run 1 or 2 Automata pickups. This card is a continuous, and when this card is activated, you can add 1 Automata card, or Automat card, which is funny how they say it, from your deck to your hand, except for this card. You can target 1 Zubaba, Gaga, Go Go Go, or Dodo monster. you control. All monsters you currently control become that monster's level until the end of the turn. Even if this card leaves the field, you can only use the effect of this card once per turn, and you can only activate one onomatopoeia pickup once per turn. So we run 2 of those. Its effect kind of happens a lot, but at the same time, don't. At least the making everything level 4, but like as requirement, yeah, you kind of have to. But then we run 2 rank up Magic Zexal Force, which is a rank up card. I'd run 3 of him instead of Azura Strike, because this build actually discards a lot of these. But if you have 2,000 life points or less, you can banish this card and then draw a card. So free draw off your XYZ tactics, making 4 cards. One ofs, we run 1 reinforcement of the army, gold rare, because why not? And 1 double or nothing. That's it for the main deck, with my stumbling of words and stutterings and things. For the extra deck, this is where the deck starts getting expensive. The entire main deck honestly costs about $25 if you guys are worried about price wise, if you're trying to build the entire deck from scratch. But the extra deck's where it gets expensive, and I even went with the budget version. We run 3 number 39 Utopias. I like the alt art. You can do the original, whatever. You know what it does. Discard. He stops an attack. Usually goes into the one of number 39 Utopia double. He actually went down in price last I checked. I'm not too sure with how ban list happened, and because you know how people are when the ban list happens. Things go crazy and all that. Then we run the new Ultimate Dragoon Utopia Ray. He's pretty good. You can summon him off of Rank Up Magic or Utopia Double, so you can make a 5,000 beat stick. And when he's targeted for an attack or card effect, you can make that card, instead of it being an attack, make him go, hey, guess what? I'm going to add a ZW monster and equip it to this card as if that card was doing it instead. Pretty disgusting. Stops a lot of things. But usually add Pegasus to him, so he has the 1 monster negate, 1,000 attack, and I usually go into Utopia double to make him, so he's already at, with Pegasus on top of him, he's 6,000 attack. Pretty disgusting to watch for 5 turns where you can't do anything and your opponent just sits there and cries. ZW Pegasus effect to negate monster effects is only on your turn too. I forgot to mention that when I showed the card. You know me. I'm really bad about saying things. Then number S39 Utopia Prime. He's pretty. I don't go into him too often, but he can destroy everything on your opponent's side of the field that was special summoned. But his you can also XYZ summon this card by using Utopia. You control as XY materials. It gains materials. If your opponent's life points are at least 3,000 higher than yours, you can detach 3 materials from this card. Pay life points that you only have 10 left. Destroy as many special summon monsters as your opponent controls as possible, and if you do, banish them and inflict 300 damage to your opponents for each monster banished. So he's okay for that effect, but he's basically raw. Then you have number C39 Utopia Ray. You can you can detach 1 XYZ material from this card. It gains 500 attack, and 1 monster your opponent controls loses 1,000 attack until the end phase. You must have 1,000 life points or less to activate the effect. So you make him, then go into him, I guess. But you can make both of them, and then use his effect to pop off. Then his effect. Don't really do it that often, but when you do, it's kind of disgusting. He's not something I go into, but it's a Utopia card. Helps you draw more. Both of them do the same. I usually go into double and Dragonic Ray. Then we do number C39, Utopia Ray Victory. If you have a Utopia card equipped to this card, once per turn you can detach one XYZ material from this card, or well, not equipped, but as material, I'm sorry. From this card, then target one monster your opponent controls, destroy that monster, and if you do, inflict damage to your opponent equal to the destroyed monster's attack on the field. Essentially, Flame Wingman's effect, but like full on. Then we do number C39, Utopia Ray Victory. If this card has a Utopia monster as an XYZ material, it gains the following effect. When this card declares an attack on a face-up monster your opponent controls, you can detach one XYZ material from this, negate that opponent's monster's effect. And also, this card gains attack equal to the opponent's monster's effect. This change lasts until the end of the turn. So he becomes the Mech Knight card. I can't even think of it. He becomes the Link version, the XYZ version of the Mech Knight card, which is kind of nice. Then we do number C39 or number 99, Utopic Dragon. Just a big beat stick. Let go of your rank up magic to make him. Pretty nice. Then Utopia Lightning, detach 2 materials. He gains 5,000. He's at 5,000 attack to attack your opponent's monsters. ZW Dragonic Hellbird is pretty good. He lets you add a rank up magic. A Zexal spell, I'm sorry. So the rank up magic Zexal spell. Gaga Magician. In this build, not so good. I just had him in there because I had the card. The original build had a lot of ZW, ZS, XYZs to make Utopic Future, which is also in the deck. And then we have one I'm not even going to say the last word. The Light Link Monster. But yeah, with that, that's the Utopia deck. And hope you guys enjoy the stumbling of words. Thanks and